Three Dev Adam, which translates to three great men or three giant men. No, this is not Turkish Quantum Mania. It's about Turkish El Santo, I'll talk about who that is later, Turkish Captain America, not Captain Turkey, and Turkish Spider-Man, who is green. The film begins with Spider-Man, and things get really weird because Spider-Man has this lady buried up to her neck and has a thing drilled into her. Now you might think this is a kind of weird depiction of Spider-Man. I mean, he's red and green, has a bit of a gut, and has his huge eyebrows sticking out of his mask. Now, Spider-Man is one of the biggest comic book characters of all time and the biggest in Marvel, but in Turkey, they didn't really have him until the mid-70s, and the 70s show didn't air until the 80s. So they took this seemingly obscure character to Turkey and just made him the villain because they didn't think anyone would care. Which, of course, makes it hilarious. That's like if I had an obscure character like SpongeBob terrorize the world and had to be defeated by the awesome powers of Optimus Prime and John Cena. And we call it Three Supermen. I should be watching Diamonds Are Forever instead. Well, these three show up. Captain America is played by Ali from Turkish Star Wars, and he speaks Turkish very well. So the bloodthirsty spider gang from the Far East is led by Spider-Man, who is smuggling historical artifacts from Turkey to America, probably hired by the Smithsonian. Also, he returned to the scene of the crime and killed a reporter. Also, he might actually be Spanish Spider-Man because he says adios. He wears the spider mask because he's a childish lunatic, and anytime he sees anyone else in a mask, he freaks out and needs to destroy them, even though the two people he's killed already weren't wearing masks. But luckily the captain's suit is bulletproof. Then we see this guy in a shower, who's still wearing his underwear. This is Turkish El Santo, based on the Mexican wrestler El Santo. The most famous luchador wrestler, even more so than Rey Mysterio and Nacho Libre. This is also due to him being in about 1 billion movies. So yeah, seeing Turkish El Santo without the mask is literally sacrilege because El Santo was so committed to the bit he was literally buried in it. Either way, Julia, their lady on the inside, was captured by the camera crew. Time for Captain Mullet to suit up and burst in. Spider Eyebrows is not pleased. You might be wondering why Captain America doesn't have his iconic shield or even the wings on his mask. Well, this is because the most famous Captain America-related media in Turkey at the time was the 1944 film serials, a 15-chapter series where Captain didn't have a shield or even the wings. And this is because he was originally supposed to be Mr. Scarlet from Whoa Comics. But negotiations fell through and now nobody knows who Mr. Scarlet is. But the production already started writing and designing suits, so they basically had to just turn Mr. Scarlet into Captain America, which is why no shield, no wings. Not even a super soldier serum, as he's moonlighting as a vigilante while working as a district attorney. So Spidey and Cap fight in a real graveyard until Spidey escapes, scaring off whoever this is. Meanwhile, El Santo is stuffing evidence in his pants, and then starts training and pickpocketing people. And Spider-Man knows he has to finish off Captain America. He does this by strangling some random woman in the shower. This news is brought to you by Turkish Coca-Cola.
Santos. Brrr gibi bir Coca-Cola.
Santos, Cap, and What's-Her-Face are on the scene with tea and sandwiches. Now, Julia works with the other two, so shouldn't she also be one of the three great men, or three giant men? Of course not, sexism. Even the cars are wearing masks here. And Turkish Watchmen apparently is happening. Then there's an out-of-suit fight. Meanwhile, Spidey's doing the 1984 rat cage to the face with gerbils. Also, meanwhile, Mrs. Game & Watch is stripping in a giant gumball. The two sue up and get into another fight, but they're too late because Spidey kills Turkish Paul and whoever this is.
Bu da süslü takdimcisi Frank Sinatra.
I guess El Santo's more of an Elvis guy. Meanwhile, Spidey's getting it on with Turkish Mary J. And the movie somehow gets weirder because living puppets are watching them. They have not been in the movie at all before, but we cut to them reacting to this, and we never see them again, making them a big-lipped alligator moment. After that nonsense, Cap and Santo finally make it to the building where Spidey's hiding in, and twist because he also has Turkish Ben Reilly. He can clone himself. They chase him onto the rooftops, but he escapes. There's more stripping, but it's less hot when it's not Mrs. Game & Watch. Santo and Cap make it to the bar, which of course leads to a bar fight, and they got captured. They fake fight each other so the henchmen let them out so they can fight them, but Turkish Tombstone starts blasting, but luckily the Cap suit was bulletproof. Weren't you paying attention earlier? This leads into a struggle where Turkish Tombstone accidentally shoots Turkish Mary J, but we have no time for Turkish one more day. Giant fan, Turkish Captain America's one weakness. He eventually overcomes it by another clone. So getting his head vacuum sealed and another clone, tossing him into whatever that is, and finally running over the original with a train finally kills Spider-Man. I think this is the movie J. Jonah Jameson watched. So yeah, this is not a great adaptation of these characters with zero respect for who they are. With zero respect for the lore, it just feels like YouTube kids slop. They will get like 10 trillion views just because it has Spider-Man in the title. But it's also just kind of the charm of these movies, just doing whatever they feel like with just no sense behind it. And Marvel does know about this because Turkish Spider-Man is in concept art for Spider-Verse. Overall, I'll give this movie a 4 out of 10. Probably should be 3, but just the fact of Captain America and El Santos teaming up to fight evil Spider-Man is just hilarious. Also, this is the first Turkish movie that aired in Tanzania. That's something. Well, let me know what you thought down below, as well as hitting the like button and subscribing if you're new. Hype it on mobile, I really appreciate it.